Hi, I'm Lauren Bufford, the director at the Parthenon in Nashville, Tennessee. We get visitors from all over the world and from Nashville itself. And the first question that we are asked is, why is there a Parthenon here, a full-scale replica of the Parthenon here? The reason is, in 1897, the state of Tennessee was celebrating their 100th birthday. It was called the Centennial Exposition. This park was then a fairgrounds, and the Parthenon was built to represent the city of Nashville, which was then called the Athens of the South. And so the Parthenon was a perfect example of what the city saw and thought about themselves. It represented democracy, arts, culture, education, learning. And it was a perfect symbol of the way the city saw themselves and the way they wanted others to see them. This building was built on these grounds. It was a 2-scale replica of the classical building on the exterior, and on the inside, it was an art museum. So people who were visiting the fair could behold this wonderful classical building and then come inside and look at art, paintings, and sculpture from all over the world. All the buildings for the Centennial Exposition were made of a plaster straw mix called staff. They were built to be temporary, including the Parthenon. The fair was over in 6 months. All the buildings came down. This land became a public park, and Nashville really loved the Parthenon. They loved it, and they didn't want to let it go. So they decided that they were going to rebuild. They committed to doing that in the early 1920s. It took 10 years to rebuild the building. Again, full-scale replica on the exterior, this time on the interior as well. The Parthenon is a building for the goddess Athena. And so on the exterior, in the pediments, which are the 2 triangles on the east and west side of the building, tell 2 important stories about Athena. They tell the birth of Athena. On the other side of the Parthenon, on the other pediment, is the story of the battle for Athens between Athena and her uncle Poseidon, where they rivaled over who would be the god of the city of Athens, which Athena, of course, won. What you're looking at are casts of the Parthenon marbles on the bottom. These were purchased by the Parks Board for the artists Belkini and Leopold Schultz to design the sculptures that are in the pediments. Above the Parthenon marbles, you can see a maquette that Kinney and Schultz made as they worked out the design to tell the story of the birth of Athena. It was always the intent to have a full-scale Athena inside the Parthenon. But building during the Depression made that impossible. But the idea circulated around and around until 1982, when the city selected an artist named Alan LeQuire to create a full-scale 42-plus foot high statue of Athena that would be the centerpiece of the Parthenon. Athena was completed in 1992. She was covered in gold leaf and painted about 10 years later. Hope you enjoyed this quick trip to the Parthenon. Please come visit us in Nashville.